Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Corbin, with my co-host, Tate, and we have a very special guest on today. This is HBAR Shadyz. Say hello.
Thanks for the intro.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So how you doing today, Shadyz?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you. Yourselves?
Doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Can't complain.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And now, as you cannot personally see this, Shadyz, but our audience can. In the background of our video, we have one of many giveaway items. The giveaway will be fully announced on 420.
Yep.
And yeah, this is just hinting at one of the items that we have and are willing to give away.
Yeah, this is the physical item.
Yes.
Everything else is going to be crypto or NFT related.
And what I love about it right now is they're only able to see roughly half of what it is. So some might not even realize exactly what this is. And it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
But Shadyz, so if you don't mind just giving us an overview of your project and what inspired you to create this great project. Because I personally love the art and I think that you have a lot of potential with it all.
So HBAR Shadyz is, I would say it's a CryptoPunks in the style of CryptoPunks kind of art, if you like. And every single character is basically rocking a pair of shades. For the Gen 1s, every character's got the HBAR shades on. Gen 2, we'll go into that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, and the inspiration was more or less, I've been in HBAR since about maybe February last year, so just over a year. But just before I got into doing NFTs, and I think just before the NFT space sort of kicked off, there was sort of kind of a little bit of a viral social media thing, especially on Twitter, where I think it originated from some of the actual Hedera staff. I don't know if they bought out like some merch with HBAR shades or something. It seemed to catch on social media, so a lot of people seem to be putting HBAR shades on their profile pictures. So I thought it was a good idea to sort of run with that.
It definitely seems to be continuing to grow immensely around the Twitter space and just throughout all of crypto. I'm continuously seeing the HBAR Shadyz just pop up on the map, and I love to see it because the artwork's great.
Yeah, and it's different because it's different from your typical like punk project.
Yeah,
like nothing against HBAR punks or anything, but like some a little different never hurts, right?
It's 3D.
Yeah.
They look the other way.
Yeah,
that's a great way.
It's not derivative.
That's a great way to describe it. Actually, they look the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically my inspiration for it was the viral thing that was happening with people putting HBAR glasses on their profile picture, because I felt like before that it was a lot of people were doing like laser eyes and that would sort of like signify that you were into crypto, and this was sort of like what Hedera had was the HBAR shades.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was where that came from.
And then it snowballed, and now you see it everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was it's not necessarily my idea. I don't own the rights to it or anything, but that's just what I figured it would be a good direction to go for an NFT project.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be working so far.
Yeah, it's working very, very well, actually.
One of the blue chips.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So why'd you choose HBAR?
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, it's one of the first cryptos that I've really got into. Beginning of last year is when I got into it. Before that, I was looking at like stocks, like penny stocks and stuff like that. And I was in a couple of like Discord chats, like some penny stock Discord chats, and one of the guys that I was speaking to put me onto this program It's called Hidden Secrets of Money. I think it aired like, I don't know, like 2015 or something. But in there, I think it's episode 8. About 39 minutes in, you see interviews with like Jordan Freed and a couple of the other guys from Hedera, and it explains about the difference between blockchain and hashgraph and all that sort of stuff. And I literally was just, I wasn't really into crypto at all at that point. You know, I'd sort of seen what happened to blockchain years before, but I never really like got into it, and I never bought any Bitcoin or any of that sort of stuff. But yeah, when I sort of I watched this program, and it sort of explained the differences and how different it is, the speed difference and the security difference. I just sort of thought, wow, like this has got to be worth looking at a little bit more. Started looking into it, and the more I looked into it, the more I was just like, damn, like this, I got invested in this basically. So that's why I was into HBAR anyway. So since that day, I've been a HBARbarian.
Nice.
Invested in it from, I'd say maybe January, February 2021. Carried on investing until about September, and then that's when NFTs sort of kicked off on Hedera. So to be honest, for me, it's not really ever been a case of why Hedera. It's always been a case of why would I go anywhere else? Because I've always been into Hedera.
Hedera found you.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like that. But
Dr. Lehman spoke to you.
I do see the benefits. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just making a joke that Dr. Lehman spoke to you.
Yeah, he came to me in a dream.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I've now I've been in NFTs for a bit. Like, I see the benefits, and it's kind of more than luck than anything that I sort of found Hedera first. I think because I could have easily. I mean, I don't think maybe the project wouldn't have done as well if I'd have gone onto something like Ethereum before or any other chain even. But right time, right place for me coming into NFTs on Hedera for sure.
I mean,
but
if you go to Ethereum, one, you're gonna have to worry about all the terrible gas fees.
Yeah.
And two,
two,
it's really competitive nowadays. It's really saturated, and it's hard to get your name out as it used to be. Like, I mean, with HBAR, like, and XRP specifically, like, the communities are a lot more smaller, but they're a lot stronger, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
And that definitely helps in the long term, especially.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, because I think the reason that the people are in HBAR is because of HBAR and because of the tech.
Yeah.
And same with XRP. They're in it for the use case. You know, they're in it for the tech and the use case. They're not in it to necessarily. I mean, there are people that are in it, you know, just to make a quick buck and etc. I mean, we're all here for the same reason.
You're gonna find it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ethereum has that it's like a magnet, isn't it, for everything scams and, you know, just flipping and
that's
all that type of stuff.
God, no comment.
Hey, investing in soul projects is actually a great idea because, you know, if the network's not working, you can't rug it. So, you know.
Well, they could potentially just breach it, and then you have no access to even pulling.
Oh, that's dandy. Yikes.
All the ideas. Oh, no.
All the ideas. Yeah, but you were, I actually remember, like, when I was first investigating, like, what HBAR NFTs were and, like, sort of the communities, you were one of the first ones that I actually found. And then I was lucky enough to get a whitelist spot for Gen 1.
That's a W.
Nice.
That's a big fat W, absolutely. Yeah, you're doing something with, like, if you for the next, like, 5 minutes, if you boost the server, you're going to get a whitelist spot. And I was like, whoo! I think I'm still boosting it.
To this day.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah, that was super early, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're jogging my memory now. Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I like that sort of thing as well, because from the beginning, I always liked the idea of, you know, like rewarding people for things that, you know, either they don't necessarily do them because they want something out of it, or you know, like potentially if you know you give someone something because they've been a good member of the community. Like I like that aspect of it, because I feel like there's so many people around that they want to do stuff for you just because they want to get, you know, maybe they want to get a free NFT, or they want to get, I don't know, a share, or they want you to boost their project, share it on Twitter or something.
Free advertising, essentially.
That was one of the fun of I remember right at the beginning, I remember just playing around with that sort of stuff, thinking you could have some fun here, just like make some people, you know,
maybe change their lives.
Like, stress them out at the same time, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like a lot of panic. The panics are sometimes quite fun to watch, and to be part of as well, I think, because I did like a scavenger hunt as well, right at the beginning for some whitelist spots, and that was one of the funniest things I think I've ever watched on Discord. It's just the chaos.
Nice.
Good
That's
fun.
Hilarious. Yeah, because everybody was gunning for a whitelist spot. I have a feeling that when Vicente drops Gen 2 VCEEZY, that it's going to be a very similar situation of everybody scrambling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did an April Fool's joke where like
I remember that.
Yeah, dude, he got me so bad. He was like, "Yeah, we're somebody was like, yeah, we're dropping whitelist spots for Gen 2." I'm like, "What? Huh? Why did I hear about this?" And then they're like, you got to message Vicente directly, and I'm like, "Huh? Why? Okay." And then he was offline. I'm like, "Vicente, there's only one spot left. I need it."
And then I was acting like I was the one getting that spot, and Corbin was just pissed.
Dude, I was so mad. I'm like, "I'm not missing this."
So with HBAR Shadyz, what is some of your favorite utility that you'll provide to your community?
Okay, yeah. So so my favorite kind of utility is, I mean, in an ideal world, I would like to give everybody free money, but in practical terms, it doesn't really work. Mainly from where I live in the UK, it's illegal. Well, it's one of the things. It's the law in the UK is very similar to the law in the US, where it's all kind of vague, and they kind of tell you what they don't really tell you what you can and can't do. They just kind of hint at what you shouldn't do, and they don't necessarily say, you know, if you do X, Y, and Z, then you know this is wrong, this is right, but you can do this and you can't do that. It's kind of like, well, you know, if your product acts in this kind of way, then that's bad. And then you're sort of left up to interpretation into how to sort of like, you know, get through that minefield. So I'm trying to sort of stay away from that side of things, but trying to provide value in as many ways as I can while trying to get through that minefield. So farming is a great thing, I think. It's kind of like it kind of engages the community quite a bit. It's sort of like, I think a lot of people see it as like you're almost like playing a game. So you like, you've got like a timer, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. So I've got a Discord bot. So basically, you link your wallet, and the Discord bot basically recognizes if you've got HBAR Shadyz tokens in the linked wallet. And then you can choose to start a farming timer. So it's kind of like staking, but you don't actually, the tokens never leave your wallet. You start a timer, and as long as you're holding those tokens for the duration of the timer, then you get a reward at the end of it. So that's basically how the farming is working for my project at the moment. It's not as robust as I first hoped. We're getting some problems with the bot, and things like being rate limited on some of the mirror nodes and stuff like that. And some people are getting some funny things happening with their timer, where it's like it pauses for an hour or something, and then they end up an hour behind, and then maybe the next day it pauses again and they end up 2 hours behind, things like that, and then you end up like manually correcting it. So the first round of it that we've done is kind of been like a test. We're learning a lot about it, and we're trying to come up with some decent solutions. Whether in the future I'll be doing it via bot or via like a different platform, that remains to be seen, depending on what's coming out. I've heard of a few different staking options that might be available to projects in the future. So I'd say, yeah, to answer your question, that was the long answer. Yeah, so farming is I think it's a great way to sort of keep the community engaged, and I think it's important for an NFT project to build a community, and for also to try and have your community sort of like emotionally attached in a way to your not like I don't want you to cry, but to have that kind of emotional connection with the project, so that you believe in it, and you want to be part of it. You want to be part of something.
You want to see it grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to help it grow as well, even though it's not your project. It is your project really, because you own the token. So it's ownership, isn't it? That's what it's all about. It's your project. You may not, you're not the creator, but it's everyone who owns a token. It's your project. So that's the kind of thing I wanna try and promote, and it's just trying to get the right utilities in place to try and make that happen in an organic way as well. Because I think if you're going to grow a project, it needs to be organic.
Yeah,
it's easy to try and give away a bunch of HBAR or something in return for followers, but if those followers are just there for the free HBAR, they're not going to stick around.
No, not at all.
Nah.
For NFTs and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think those things have their place, but from like a marketing standpoint sometimes, but
not just right out the gates. You don't want to do that right out the gates.
And it's not long term either. It's never going to be sustainable growth.
Nah.
But yeah. So I would say that's my sort of favorite utility is free NFTs via engagement, really.
Sure. Is there like a, maybe not necessarily like a spreadsheet, but like of how many hours, like if you hold X amount of Shadyz, how long, and you're farming for like a certain type of Shady, like how many hours that would actually take?
Yeah, so it's the way it works is based on, so depending on how many points you have. Yeah. So each token from HBAR Shadyz is worth a certain amount of points. So, for example, at the moment, this is probably all going to change in the future because all the stuff that we've learned from round one. But at the moment, the way it is that if you own a Gen 1, it's 2 points, and the bot recognizes a Gen 1 token is 2 points, and it will recognize things like an OG Shady, which is what we gave out for free to all the OG buyers. So everybody who bought from Drop 1 got bought directly from the project, got an OG Shady basically for free. Also, it's early bird cards, which was given out to the first 333 people in the Discord. So that if you hold those tokens, they're 1 point. Mm-hmm. So there's an incentive to hold those tokens, as well as the Gen 1s. And there's like special edition ones that we did. We've done some collaboration ones, and so the Gen 1 tokens are always going to be worth. They're always going to be the cream of the crop. They're always going to be more points, more farming points than any of the other ones. It's gonna have to work in like a tiered fashion. So the way it works is that depending on how many points you have, you get a Discord role. So at the moment we've got like the best one is like Ultra Shady. I think that's like 15 points, and then Super Shady, which is 10 points, and then the one under that is the Shady Collector, and then you've got like you're a Shady character. I think that's like 5 and 3 points. So basically, if the more points you have, the better role you have. The better role you have, the quicker you can farm a token. So I think 2 weeks for an Ultra Shady. I think they would be able to farm the Ultra Shady and the Super Shady collection. They would be able to farm each token would be 2 weeks, and then the tier below, I think it's like it added like another week, and then another week for the tier below. So that's how it sort of it works. So it's an incentive to hold more of the tokens to gain more points. It's like a game, really. So the more points you have, the quicker it goes, the more chance you have of getting something.
Sure.
So
and then
if you have,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, so and then the token that you get from farming, you can then, if you, as long as you keep it in your wallet, that counts as in the point system, right? So that way it will snowball.
So yeah, like in future rounds, we'll add those tokens as well. So it's like it's almost like compounding, you know. As long as you don't, you can choose to sell it if you want. Like the Ultra Shadies are going to be they're custom. There's going to be 20 of them. They're going to be custom. So all the guys that have managed to farm one, they're going to work with me one-on-one. We're going to tell me what traits you like. There's going to be like a basic template that we're going to stick to. Obviously we're not going to, you can't turn around and say, I just want you to make me a shadow, a Gen 1 shadow or whatever. So
yeah,
there's going to be some rules, but it's going to be like a collaboration between me and the Ultra Shadyz guys that will farm them. But yeah, like it's like that compounding thing where the next round that token becomes part of your arsenal, like to be able to, add towards your points to farm quicker. So if you stick with you stick with the project, you get rewarded.
I really like that idea a lot because it just makes people left. Well, we are back.
We are back. I'll probably just end up editing that out anyway.
Of course. Well, I really like how you're approaching the point system and farming because I see it as if you're an OG investor into the project and you truly believe in the project and you want this to succeed, you will obviously continue to reinvest into the project. And when you reinvest into it, it obviously allows you to gain more points to then down the road just continue to accumulate more NFTs.
Yeah.
And I see that as really valuable as only if the project is valuable. And I see a lot of potential with that.
No, cool. No, I'm glad you see it that way because that's the intent. Really, is it's similar to the way like Stader have done their staking. It's like if the earlier you are, the more rewards you're going to get.
Yep.
Sure.
So, and then the longer you hold these tokens, the more likely you are to gain value in the future. It's the way I'm trying to do it anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, as the tools develop on Hedera, hopefully it'll be a bit more smooth in terms of, you won't have to go for a Discord bot. There'll be a platform, and there'll be like a catalog of things that you'll be able to see what you can farm, and you'll be able to like log into a profile, and you'll be able to see, how much time you got left, all that sort of stuff. That's the end goal with it. This is just early days.
Yeah. Have you talked to like Patches or anybody from Turtle Moon Tools about maybe sort of developing a platform for that?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's public knowledge or not. I'm sure he's probably mentioned it to a couple of other people, but I'm sure that they are planning on working on something similar. I know that there's another platform that's going to be doing something similar as well in the future. It's going to be, I don't know if you guys have heard of, it's called Hedera Steakhouse.
I have not heard of that.
Is it an actual steakhouse, or is it just
So it's gonna be a staking platform basically. It was announced very recently, so I think it was announced within like the last week that it's basically going to be a platform where projects can use the platform. They're going to have like they're building the tech with HBAR suite to implement staking for projects. So like for instance, I could go to them and say, okay, I want to have staking for my project, and they go, okay. So you basically give them your token IDs and all that sort of stuff, and your holders will be able to stake their tokens, and there'll be like a community like fungible token. I don't know if fungible token is the right word, but there'll be like a community token that you can farm. So I think that I can't remember if they finalized the name of it, but they were talking about like Sizzle or something. So it would be like, like if you were to stake, like you were to get HBAR X for staking your NFTs, you could get Sizzle token or so it'd be like a community token that you could therefore use that token to potentially buy NFTs from other projects that are also involved in Hedera Steakhouse. So it's quite a nice idea.
Yeah, I really like that.
It's like an ecosystem idea, something that will help drive the ecosystem rather than individual projects having their own token. Like if I were to have Shady's token, you can only use that on my project. It wouldn't be sort of like you wouldn't be able to cross borders into like, I don't know, like punks or whatever to buy some. You couldn't buy something with Shady's token, for example.
Sure, yeah.
Whereas this idea is that it's sort of like try and band the whole ecosystem together to try and drive it forward in that way. So
that's a great idea.
Just to give projects more value, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best. You always want to look for value. But I believe there is one platform that you can stake HBAR on already.
Yeah.
I believe it's called Stater.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out recently. I saw Crypto Mason did a video on that, and it was quite interesting. There's over 250 million HBAR being staked already.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you guys staking?
I personally am not.
I am not, sadly. No? All of my liquidity is in NFTs. So, I'd love to.
Nice.
But,
Down the road.
Yeah. When stuff eventually sells. But see, the other problem, though, is, like, I become incredibly attached to these projects. Like, I'm not going to sell my Shadyz.
Oh, yeah.
I have no reason to sell my Shadyz. Yeah. My last Cyber Hedera, I'm not selling that.
Well, with your Shadyz, you can just use them in the farming system to make more Shadyz.
Exactly.
So what's the point of selling right now?
Yeah.
It's like breeding.
Yeah. No, that's basically what it is almost, in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait until all that sort of stuff kicks off where you can do things like that. Yeah. There's going to be projects that do like, you have like a male, a male Shady and a female Shady, and you can make a baby Shady, stuff like that.
Or there could be like weird variants of where like maybe it bursts like a Pokemon or something.
Yeah. 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 You get, I don't know, something else. Yeah. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Some oddball thing. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with every guest that we have on the show, we ask them a question that I call the state of HBAR. And essentially,
the big question.
It is a big question. And because you're a creator, you have a different sort of view for most of us, plebs. So, how would you rate the ease of development on Hedera, and how do you like its ecosystem right now, and how do you think that the Hedera Foundation can actually improve the Hashgraph for your purposes?
Yeah, so I mean, I probably have a little bit of a different view to most, not all, most creators, because I'm not technically sound in coding or software engineering, that type of thing. I'm a guy that I can manage. I'm managing the project. I do the art, but when it comes to the technical side of things, this is part of the reason. Well, not part of the reason. The main reason that I'm with Turtle Moon at the moment. I'm one of the shellmates, is because they're building the tools for people like me that don't know how to do any of that stuff. So I probably have a bit of a different view on it than, say, I don't know, than Patches, for example, because Patches knows the technical side and what's missing, and what they could do. But from my point of view, and I've seen a lot of people in the community saying that it's really bad, it's really broken, all our NFTs are tanking, all that sort of stuff. But I personally don't think it's that bad. I think it's a symptom of how early we are, and that really what needs to happen, in my opinion, this is just my take on it, is that we need to have we need the RPC protocol so that wallets and marketplaces can have easier signing of transactions. And when all that comes out, it's going to be much easier to communicate with the marketplaces and all that sort of stuff. So whereas now, like, we have Zeus, which is brilliant for what we have at the moment. It's custodial. It's going to cause problems with things like staking NFTs because they're not in your wallet; they're in Zeus's wallet.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're going to have a staking platform, you can't have it listed on a marketplace, which there's pros and cons for that. But I'm not really 100% sure how they deal with that on other chains. But that's like one of the sort of things that, for me, that could be potentially an issue. But yeah, the way I see it is, I think we need marketplaces that are going to be more like the ones you see on Sol, and that have the all singing, all dancing features.
What we really need is OpenSea to work with HBAR, XRP, and all of these other just platforms, and integrate all of their NFTs also into OpenSea, so people aren't just using OpenSea for ETH and Sol.
Tate. Yeah. Whoa, calm down, bud. You're forgetting that NFT.com exists. Imagine, oh my gosh, could you imagine Sol and Ethereum NFTs being on OpenSea? And then HBAR and XRP and like XDC and XLM NFTs on NFT.com.
Wow.
Because that much network traffic would suck to maintain.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
And incorporating all these different blockchains when you're already operating on the biggest one that exists, which sadly is Ethereum. But,
Besides the point. Yeah. I mean, I feel as if NFT.com will be a lot more searched down the road once people are just more aware of it.
Yeah. I mean, if you also think about like how little exposure HBAR has right now because of the market that they're targeting, which, they can target whoever they want.
Yeah.
But, for retail, it's hard to, it's not necessarily hard to get people to do research about it, but like, it's not a publicly known thing that you're just going to be randomly scrolling through channels and you're going to randomly see like Dr. Lehman or somebody. Like, no.
It's like fishing.
No. Yeah.
You got to reel it out.
Yeah.
And you got to hope that they hit the hook.
Yeah. That's why the people like Kevin O'Leary are so important, because he's trying to put it on like CNBC and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
that's what we need, really. We need more of that, and
influencers. I mean, of course.
Yeah, influencers, all that sort of stuff. I think that's where it's gonna start, because
I see that as well.
It's difficult to say in the future, but I don't know if NFT.com is going to bring much interest to HBAR in the short term. Maybe in the long term, but I don't know how it's going to work. I saw a thing and it was like if you get a like a founder's key for NFT.com, then you can be part of their DAO. You can vote to have HBAR NFTs, integrated into NFT.com in the future or whatever. But if not many people from HBAR end up with a founder's key, is it ever going to get voted in? I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one to see what's going to happen in the future with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make a very good point on that.
Here's hoping,
because they're launching on ETH, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. I watched a video. I think it was HBAR Bull, actually. He was talking to Jordan Freed. Mm-hmm. I watched it I think yesterday or today. I don't even know what day it is anymore. They're saying that like obviously they've got like 200 million accounts, whereas HBAR have got, we've just passed 800,000. So if you're going to launch an NFT platform that's going to be chain agnostic, it really doesn't make sense to just have it on HBAR. And I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Because as well, we're not fully built out. We don't have the tools that we need to be a fully fledged ecosystem yet. And that's why I go back to the point of, I don't think it's as bad as everybody thinks it is. I just think we're really early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have like all singing, all dancing marketplaces yet. I think once we've got all singing, all dancing marketplaces, and once the community, picks a winner of which one is going to be the main one or two, then that's when I think, the names of those marketplaces are going to get around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when people are going to go to those points of interest, and then, then you get the projects that win from there.
It really just has to be accessible to everybody. Like OpenSea and Phantom have their own wallets on Apple Store and Android.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really just have to make it easier for the person who doesn't really know much about NFTs to be able to access it a lot more reliably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the problem I think we're coming into recently with a lot of these different exchanges and platforms is they're just not as accessible to the standard person as they should be.
Yeah, and that's the whole push, isn't it, for getting it on Coinbase?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's everyone's first. I mean, it was definitely mine. It was my first place I went to look for cryptocurrencies, and then it was like, oh, okay, there's another one called Binance. Okay, let's have a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Coinbase for me was always the one that was the one I heard of first. I think that's like the mainstream, isn't it?
That's the mainstream one. I know over here in America, a lot of people use Uphold because it's very hard to acquire XRP.
Yeah.
Over here. So,
is it?
Yeah, it is.
Delisted on major exchanges.
Yeah, it got delisted on a ton of places. And unless you use a VPN, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get a hold of it and then move it to like cold storage. So with Uphold, you can also get like their XRP card, which I think is out of beta. It's probably been out of beta for a while. I've had that card now for like almost 2 years at this point. But like every transaction I make with it, I get XRP back, which is pretty dope.
Oh. Can you? I guess you guys must be able to get it on Binance, right?
A little bit.
You'd have to use Binance, not US, to be able to get XRP.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, it's not listed on Binance US.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Uphold and BitTrue are technically the two exchanges that you can use your debit card to purchase XRP on, I believe. Yeah, there might be one more, but I know
Uphold's based in Britain too, which is nice for regulatory reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where BitTrue's based, but it's,
I just wish
it's
you
somewhere.
could move your HBAR off of Uphold. That's the only thing, isn't it?
Yeah. The way they integrate the whole other thing. Like they'll be like, "Oh, we now support a token." It's like, great. I can't move it anywhere.
That's so bad.
Thanks, Uphold.
That's bad. I didn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't do anything with it.
Yeah, you can't even like I was trying to deposit HBAR to my Uphold and I didn't even see the ability to add it, which I thought was strange. Like you can buy it,
no,
you just can't move it.
I don't even think you can send it to your Uphold. That's
that means they don't
receive.
That basically means they don't allow you to have access to your HBAR wallet.
Well, no, you can still buy and sell HBAR with fiat on Uphold. You just can't move it anywhere.
You can't send more HBAR to you or withdraw it out of it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like you're really restricted with how much access you have with your HBAR wallet.
Sure.
Yeah, it's basically like having an investment account, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not really yours. You've bought an investment and you can switch it to and fro from fiat. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your favorite Shady?
My favorite Shady?
Yes.
I like them all.
We love that. I love to hear that because it's a very hard question for some.
Well, yes, I mean, there's obviously some that I think look more badass than others, but I think they all look pretty good. I mean, that sounds really arrogant, doesn't it? But but yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, when I made them, because they're all handmade as opposed to the Gen 2 stuff is going to be generated. So the Gen 1 stuff is all sort of is put together by hand. So I did sort of make an effort to make them look really cool, you know, like match colors that look good.
They look great. All of them look great. They're all unique to their own ways, and you really don't see any that are like just copied and pasted.
Yeah, we have no shady derivatives yet, which is nice.
Yes, very nice. And you need that because with a lot of these NFT projects, you just see a bunch of copy and pasted things, and it's like, is there really any point in investing into it?
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah, like did you see the controversy with the Held guy, the HELD guy?
No, I did not. What happened there?
No, I've seen it.
So he took, so you know Cosmo monkeys, right?
Yes.
So he took them, deep fried them. So like put them through a filter, made them look extra like crunchy and like gross, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then resold them.
And people bought them?
And people bought them.
That's a disgrace.
Yeah.
That's so much disrespect.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then he did Moon Moon Tickets, the guy who worked with Creets.
Yeah.
So he made a 3D model of a Charizard, which looked exceptional. Like I've never seen the raw file before this, but so he, was supposed to pay him a certain amount of HBAR for it.
Yeah.
And he deep fried it again, but deep fried it in different color variations and then sold them as a series.
That is
without giving Moon Tickets credit.
That is so, oh my gosh.
As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong on that, and I might have missed something, but as far as I'm aware, he didn't give him credit for actually making the original work.
Yeah, and I think the story is as well is that Moon Tickets didn't actually know what he wanted it for. I think Moon Tickets thought that he just wanted a 3D model of a Charizard, like for his own.
Yeah, like it was a regular commission.
For his art gallery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit controversial, shall we say?
Yeah, just a smidge controversial.
Did you see the HBAR Foundation funding announcement for Held?
Dude, I'm so just it makes so did you see that, Tate?
I did not.
Okay, so there was this little meme going around. I saw it originally from Creets where he was like, hey, well, if the HBAR Foundation's not gonna partner with me, well, I'm gonna put my name next to their name.
Oh yeah, I saw Creets do that. I saw Creets do that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's hilarious. So that was in response to the HBAR Foundation actually partnering with the Held guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Possibly providing him funding or something. I'm not sure, but I'm like, okay, who fact-checked this? Who?
Obviously not the HBAR Foundation.
Clearly they didn't talk to Irate about this.
They're not in the system. They're not in the system. They're not in the loop of what's going on.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm being diplomatic, so I'm trying not to say too much.
Sure,
but,
understandable.
I just think I saw somebody put the HBAR Foundation's giving grants to NFT projects. This just doesn't really make sense because there's all this other infrastructure that we need.
Yeah,
and I do sort of agree with that because like, I mean, I don't know what the Held guy's got planned. Maybe he's got something fantastic planned, and I can't really speak for that. But I mean, like if the HBAR Foundation, for example, was to partner with me, I don't really know what I would do with the grant. I'd sort of be like, oh, okay, let's build some tools.
You create your own farming system is what you do.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think that sort of stuff would be more like better used for marketplaces and infrastructure that we need.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
You develop the farming system and then you sell it off to all the exchanges because they're obviously not in the loop with how a farming system might work. It's an idea.
I think if you're going to get a grant from the HBAR Foundation, I think they're going to want you to open source it.
Yeah, of course.
True. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Turtle Moon Tools if they get a grant and see how they decide they want to, make it open or closed source. Totally up to them.
Yeah. I think Turtle Moon are going to do. When I was mentioning the community token thing.
Mhm.
I think eventually that's what their plan is as well, is to have something similar.
Okay.
To have like staking and have like their own little ecosystem.
Stake your torts.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you get a token. Maybe you get TMT token or something, and then you can buy exclusive Shadyz or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
This is all speculation.
Sure.
Always.
But, I think that's the way things are going to go.
Yeah. Speaking of speculation, when Gen 2?
Yeah. So I am currently provisionally booked in for May to drop. I'm still keeping an eye on what's going on in the markets because there's been a lot of stuff recently about saturation of drops versus amount of collectors, and like the argument is that there's thousands of NFTs dropping at the moment, just flooding the market, and this is why we're getting people say the system's broken, and because they immediately appear on marketplaces. There's not enough people to flip them straight away, and then people just drop their prices until they find a buyer, if they can find a buyer. So I am at the moment sort of I'm keeping an eye on what's happening. I'm hoping that I think at the moment we need the RPC protocol, and we need some people to build some cool shit with it.
Yeah.
And then basically it does feel a little bit at the moment like the sentiment is just kind of depressed, and people are getting a little bit
Skeptical.
Yeah, disheartened, I'd say, just because they're buying their NFTs from their favorite projects, and then they see the floor price just bottom out, and it's disheartening.
Yeah, it's and sadly it's been that way for months because of I think there was such a strong liquidity shock after Exact didn't allow NFT trading that it kind of just like temporarily murdered the market.
Pushed everybody out.
Yeah, because you couldn't trade, so there's no liquidity, even if you wanted there to be.
Yeah, and then when we finally got hashback secure trade, everybody that had been waiting to sell for months, all of a sudden sold, and then all of a sudden there was this massive sell off of stuff. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, why is everybody selling this? Why is everybody selling that?" And it's like, well, it's just because they couldn't sell it for so long. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot more volume around it, but it does seem to have it seems to sort of stagnate everything a little bit.
For every seller, you'll always need to have at least one buyer at the end of each trade.
That is true. Genius.
Well, Shadyz, if there's anything else you'd like to let your community know about?
Just
it's a very broad question, I understand.
I'm currently partnering with XR Pizza Party. They've got like a collaboration collection coming out, so they've done a
cross-chain collab.
Yeah,
they've done a Shadyz pizza slice. Wow. So for anyone who doesn't know, XR Pizza Party was originally an XRP only project, and now they're going to be a cross chain, so they're going to have part of their collection on HBAR as well. So I've partnered up with them to help them give away some whitelist spots and all that sort of good stuff, and help. They've got a giveaway on at the moment as well for like a free mint token. Yeah, so it's all good. But yeah, it's an interesting project. Their white paper looks brilliant. I would go and join their Discord. Go and have a look at their white paper. Give it a read.
Also join the HBAR Shadyz Discord. Follow them on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
check out
Yeah.
all of them. We'll have them provided in the description down below.
Yeah. That's I should
join
plug my
us.
own project, shouldn't I?
Join us in the penthouse. It's a good time up there.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully, actually, that's a good point. Hopefully, in the near future, the penthouse will be a metaverse experience, and then eventually it will be a token-gated metaverse experience. That's all good stuff to look forward to.
Things are heating up.
Are we thinking like a VCEEZY partnership, or are we thinking? Obviously, this is really far down the line.
What partnership?
A VCEEZY, VCCESS. You ever heard of it? Well, some people call it Access.
Access.
I call it VCEEZY.
No, so for anybody that has not heard of it, there's Happy Hash Frogs creator are building a metaverse. So they are building a metaverse space called the Ivy. It's like a function space that can be used for anything that a project wants to use it for, be it an auction, like a party, if you want to do like an after party to a drop, or like you just want to do a party. Like if you want to have metaverse parties as part of your utility, you can go to the Ivy. You can sign your project up, and you can have a metaverse party in there. I think they're going to have like a concert space as well. In the future, I think they're planning on having things like you could have like a live DJ to actually DJ a party or a concert in their concert venue.
Wow.
So this, I'm actually on the council for the Ivy at the moment with a bunch of other cool projects.
Nice.
I think HBAR is on there. I think
Sweet.
I think Doodleverse is on there.
Okay.
Happy Hash Frogs is probably on there as well, because I think one of their guys is a bunch of others. So that's probably another thing I would say look out for in the near future. So lots of juicy stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's very, very, very cool.
But yeah, other than that,
back
to the grindstone. That's it.
We appreciate all of this, Shadyz.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of good alpha from this.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, indeed.
Sure. Been fun.
Well, with that being said, giveaway will be finalized by 420 and our Twitter. This is just a sneak peek of what you'll be able to receive. This is the one physical item.
Today's the 19th, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out by the 20th. So if this gets uploaded on the 21st, now you know
the
to enter in the giveaway.
Yeah, enter the giveaway now. It's on our Twitter. It'll probably just be like a like, retweet, and follow us. Then
no, we'll make it fancy. That one website where you got to do the things and you get extra spots and stuff. We'll make it fancy.
All right.
Yeah, we'll make it fancy.
Get it done.
Exactly.
Well, with that being said, this has been the Alt Kings podcast, and we will see you next episode. お前はもう死んでいる。何? Bing. Take out the light. Just take out the light, why don't you?
Sure, we don't need it. People don't need to see us.